The more you autocross, the more you'll encounter different surfaces. The surface you're driving on can sometimes be just as challenging as the complexity of the course. This event is being held at the fairgrounds on a small figure 8 that can most accurately be described as semi-sealed asphalt. I haven't been to this site in over a year, and this surface has a secret. There's a lot of grip, but it makes your tires squeal before they're at the limit of traction. As I attack the course in my 2000 GT, I have to remember to push past the squeal. But there is a limit. Squealing tires are good, but screaming tires are bad. And because this is a compact course, I'm using my small sight settings. I've softened my Takiko Alumina front struts from 2 to 1 to prevent understeer. And I'm going to lower my air pressure to 25 psi sooner than I normally would. Because this is the first time I've autocrossed on this surface with my Rival S 1.5 tires, I'm going to see how they feel and perform at 26 psi for at least one run. I'm up against 7 other cars in Cam T. It's 90 degrees, and even though the venue is small, the course is incredibly fast. We're not using the crossover today, and there's a lot of open space between elements. Finding the hidden straightaways will help me find speed. I also have to make sure I don't let my ears determine what my right foot does. On some other surfaces, I need to back off the throttle when the tires start squealing. Today, that will cost me time. Statewide COVID-19 protocols had been eased at the time of this event, but attendees were encouraged to take precautions based on their individual level of risk. My tires are set at 29 psi for run number 1. .555. I was definitely feeling out the surface on that run. I was late getting on the throttle, and I let off the throttle too early pretty much everywhere. I didn't attack the open spaces at all. In the technical section on the backside of the course, there's a moment where the cones look a little cluttered. That made me hesitate. I was looking ahead, I just wasn't looking at the correct cones. For my second run, I'm going to focus on the sweepers and the straight sections between the technical elements. In the sweepers, I need to extend my duration of acceleration by getting on the throttle earlier. And I have to make sure I'm not going too wide, because staying tight will set me up to extend my acceleration zones into the elements after the sweepers. In the technical section, I need to be more aggressive in the hidden straightaways. In order to do that, I have to see through the clutter to the key cones and use more throttle for a longer period of time. But I have to make sure I'm aware of the fast into slow elements, because missing a braking zone will cost me time and could lead to a DNF. I've lowered my air pressure to 26 psi for run number 2. 38.122, 0.433 seconds faster. I raised my aggression a little, and there was less hesitation between my throttle and brake inputs. I was faster in every straight section, and I was earlier on the gas in the sweepers. But I didn't take a lot of time off, and my tires aren't squealing very much at all. Which means I have to push harder. I've lowered my air pressure to 25 psi for my third run. .714, 0.408 seconds faster. I was a little faster everywhere out on course. You could hear the tires squealing a bit more. I'm finding speed in the sweepers and the straight sections by increasing the degree and duration of my throttle inputs. I'm accomplishing my goal of going faster for a longer period of time, but I should be hearing more noise from the tires. I also don't like what I'm hearing from my competition. CAMT76 is 0.022 seconds behind me with 2 runs left. I'm not taking big chunks of time off on my runs, and I know he's capable of beating me. I definitely need to get faster on my 4th run. I've kept my air pressure at 25 psi. 37.914, 0.2 seconds slower. My Mustang just felt off. It suddenly seemed like the car had asymmetrical handling. The left turns felt vague. You could see a couple of double steering inputs in the technical section of the course. Those are corrections, and corrections cost time. I'm starting to wonder if my attack strategy for this surface is wrong. I don't know how CAMT76 did on his 4th run, but I know he's a very good driver. So no matter how my car feels, I have to find a chunk of time on my last run. I've kept my air pressure at 25 psi for my 5th run. 37.165, 0.549 seconds faster than my 3rd run. I was much more aggressive from the starting line through the first right turn and into the first sweeper. I was able to find a little speed entering the slalom and in the technical section that followed it. I was also faster entering and exiting the second sweeper. Even though the run was faster, something about my car's handling still felt odd. I was working much harder behind the wheel than normal. And when I went to put air in my tires at the end of the day, I discovered my driver's side rear tire was flat. By the way my car felt, this screw was definitely in my tire for the last 2 runs. My tire may have gotten screwed, but was I able to nail down first place? I managed to beat Cam T76 by 0.571 seconds. I'm glad my last run was my fastest, even with a tire that was losing air, but honestly, I didn't do a very good job of adapting to the surface on my first 3 runs. Most clubs use the same sites for multiple autocross events during the season. Each event gives you an opportunity to gather data that will help you plan for the next event on that surface. I'll be doing more events at this site later this season. My ability to successfully adapt to and attack this surface will be a factor in my quest to win a championship. If I don't push past the squeal next time, I might not be able to get past my competition. I'll post more results videos soon.